Welcome back to FTP Speed Shop PodCast, a podcast where we talk about what you talk about in the garage because, hey, we're in the garage. I'm your host, Mike Hurley. Did I say Hurley?
Hurley. You definitely said Hurley.
Fuck, I don't even know my own name.
That makes two of us.
Oh, fuck. Welcome back to FTP Speed Shop PodCast, a podcast where we talk about what you talk about in the garage because, hey, we're in the garage. I'm your host, Mike Hurley, and today I've got my good friend, Jeramie Dunham. What's going on, Jeramie? Not
much. Are you reading that, dude?
No,
you have that written down over
that's
there?
not. That's just freeballing it.
Well, good job.
That's why it took me 2 takes. Because I forgot what my name was in the first.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. So before we get into it, I want to thank our sponsor for this episode, No Coast Customs and Rod Shop. I always forget to put the Rod Shop at the end, but they are the premier destination for hot rod, paint work, body work, just all-around custom hot rod work. I highly recommend these guys, and I think you guys should check them out. Go hit up nocoastcustomsrodshop.com, and hey, go talk to Ben. He's a good dude.
Yeah, they always got some cool stuff in their garage.
A lot of cool stuff there, for sure. So, speaking of cool stuff, what are you working on in the garage?
What am I working on in the garage?
Yeah.
This is not going to be like normal people what I work on in the garage.
No, what are you working on?
Because most people work on cars in the garage, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Generally, I don't know. Right now, what I'm working on in the garage is I'm working on a kitchen table and a bed.
You know, I didn't realize that the new chicks were going to be so loud.
They are pretty loud. They sound like bunch of nagging women.
They were really quiet until we hit record, and now we have 7 baby chicks in the corner over there behind Jeramie.
Yeah, so don't mind the chirping.
Yeah, the chirping is, they woke up. Apparently they're ready to party.
Well, it is Friday.
It is Friday.
And they're young, so.
Yep. So you're working on a kitchen table.
Mm-hmm. Yep, building a kitchen table for a client. It's made out of ash wood. So yeah, building it from the ground up.
Is that a hardwood or softwood?
It's hardwood.
Hardwood?
Yeah.
Where's that rate on the hardwood scale compared to redwood? In between redwood, or not redwood, red oak, sorry. Red oak and bamboo. Where does it rate in between there?
Right in the middle somewhere. Because I don't know the hardnesses of wood.
Yeah.
I know you can like scuff your finger into it and it won't make a mark like pine or anything like that, or fir. So it's a good. They use it for guitars and stuff like that. I think a lot of electric guitars that make them out of ash. I could be totally fucking wrong on that too.
They've made one guitar out of ash.
Yeah, I've seen at least one guitar made out of ash.
But don't you have the Bronco in there? Did you get that moved over?
Yeah, I do have my Bronco in the garage. It's a 76 Ford Bronco, rusted to complete everything. But I haven't been working on it. But
it's a big step getting it in the garage.
Yeah, that's a huge step because now I see it and then I want to kill myself every day because I'm not working on it.
You go out there and you go, oh boy, I ain't starting this project today. This is too much.
I think back of when I got it, I think I was 19 years old when I got the thing. And then if I would have saved like, I don't know, $1,000 every single year just towards it, I could have it completely redone the way I wanted it.
And you'd probably have more money set aside.
Yeah. But then I'm thinking now, so at the time I thought about doing it and I looked into it, I wanted to drop like 40 grand, frame up all the way, just make it kind of ridiculous, but not super ridiculous. Not nowadays. Everything's pretty much normal nowadays because, they'll resto mod pretty much everything. But then I think if I wanted to do the same thing now, it'd probably be more like 80 grand.
What did you want to do with it? You said resto mod, but are you wanting to make it more of like the off-road look or I
kind of wanted it to be capable for one.
Yeah, so if you had to go wheeling in it, you could.
Mm-hmm. So definitely axles. I wanted to go with some like Dana 60s, front rear or something like that, 40-inch spline. That way you could do anything. But I always liked the fact that people put the old Fox body motors in them. But then at that point, the Coyote motor was just kind of coming out. And so that's really where it's at.
Now you're like, screw the old 302. Let's
because basically I did put a 302 from a Mustang in it. I just kept it carbureted instead of fuel injecting it.
Yeah, and it's crazy what these new motors are making compared to that old stuff. Like Higley did all that stuff, and no offense, Higley, I'm not talking shit. It was just the signs of the time, or whatever. But cams, heads, trick flow this, trick flow that, and they had to fudge the dyno graph to get it. Was it above 3?
I think with the, I don't want to say fudged because that's kind of mean. Adjusted numbers. It was like 350 to the wheels, I think, if I remember right.
Maybe they fudged or
so I think it was like
the altitude and all that stuff to get it over 350.
So I think it was like right around 300. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember, was that done when he was the manual or did he have the automatic in it at that time?
I think he went.
Did you do automatic at the same time?
Right at the same time with the trans brake and everything. I don't think he did.
Yeah, that's right, because you and I drove it from his house
for
over
his wedding.
Yeah. So it was automatic then.
There was no
horseplay at all.
No. No horseplay at all. We did not see what that little red button on the shifter did.
No, ever. From what was it, 5 blocks away?
We just stayed in one spot and it just kept revving up. We didn't know what was going on. We were pretty new to cars at that time, so it was kind of scary. You let go of that button and she ate.
Yeah.
It's crazy that, back in the day,
you actually had to spend a lot of money to get horsepower back then.
Yeah.
Because it was right before the turbos got super popular and efficient.
Coming online, yeah. Because it was like, I got a big old diesel turbo on my Honda Civic.
That never spools up, but once it does, look out.
When we hit $8,000, you guys watch out because it makes 300 horsepower in like a half a second.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, bigger axles, frame off, so I'd redo the frame. Frame's all straight and everything like that, so I wouldn't put a new frame under there.
Don't have to worry about rust in the frame or anything like that?
No, I mean, there's some pits or whatever, but I don't think it was super terrible.
Structural.
Yeah. It's just all body that's just hammered. And then, of course, so you could go 2 ways with it. You could either go fiberglass with a lot of it.
Like doing the tub.
The tub and everything.
Is it called a tub on those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could do fiberglass tub if you wanted to, or you could spend maybe $1,000 more and actually get a complete brand new tub that's made out of steel.
What do you think is the best way to go with that? I'm kind of conflicted on that.
So I don't know if there's really a wrong way to go.
Yeah.
But with fiberglass, typically depending on who you got it from, you had to be careful because it could either fit real well or it could be a lot of time and effort getting it to fit right.
Get the doors to work and the roof, because that's got a lift off roof and everything, doesn't it? Or removable.
Yeah, you can remove it if you want to. So,
which if it was mine, I would never put the roof on it.
I don't, it wasn't that bad taking it off. I used to take it off all by myself.
Yeah.
It's a big steel roof too.
Huh.
But it's in the right position where you can just kind of crawl under there and
turtle walk thing underneath there.
Lift it up with your shoulders and walk it off.
My buddy had a 72 Toyota Land Cruiser in high school, and it was a bitch to get that roof off. Granted, we had no idea what we were doing, but we finally got the roof off. We took the doors off. We folded the front windshield down and went cruising down the highway and thought we were the coolest shit in the world. But those roofs are surprisingly heavy.
Yeah, they're not light.
Surprisingly heavy.
Yeah. But, I mean, shoot, my Jeep's roof, it's pretty heavy too.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's all fiberglass.
Yeah. And you took that off for the car show.
Yeah, I actually took it off for the car show. That was the first time I took it off. And then, shoot, I liked it so much. It was nice. I kept it off for almost a whole month.
But it was a rainy day during the car show.
Yeah, it was sketchy. It could have been... But apparently that's what they're made for, is getting wet.
Yeah,
I don't know.
True.
There's a lot more electrical components in them now than there used to be, but they still say that you can.
Oh, really? So they're all kind of waterproof
It's
anyway?
supposed to be.
That's cool.
I would say maybe water resistant.
Water resistant.
Yeah, like the radio and stuff.
Don't be driving it through a pond or I'll bury it up
people
to
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, still. You probably at least, put that much water in the bottom of it and it'll be fine, I'm assuming.
I had like that much water in the bottom of my S10 back in the day out the Coke factory.
Yeah, I wish the Coke factory was still the way it used to be.
Yeah, no, I haven't been out there for 10
Cisco
years.
bought that land, so that's where Cisco sits now.
Yeah, it's all like chained off or fenced off now, I think.
No, that's where Cisco is.
Oh, they built a building out there now?
Yeah, that's where I work now. Is where everybody used to wheel all the time.
Oh, okay. Well, see, shows how much I know.
Because there's still there's like on the west side of the building, there's still those big hills with the
Going up into that parking lot or
with
whatever.
the ruts and stuff in there.
Yeah.
It's slowly getting to where you almost can't see them, but yeah, that's where it is now.
Is that pond still there? Right on the back side of that parking lot, on the west side, right by what the hell, Cornhusker or whatever it rolled into, Highlands Boulevard or whatever.
Highlands. No. The pond, they're the only closest pond. Yeah, there's still a pond over there.
Is it?
Yeah.
That was the one we used to drive through all the time.
Really? You drove through that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right off the parking lot?
Yeah,
On
well,
the west side?
was that data building out there? Like it used to be Dell, I think. There probably wasn't even a Dell out there at that time. I don't really remember.
It was
Such a long time ago. But yeah, there's still a pond out there.
Huh.
It looks a lot deeper, I guess. That's why I had that question.
Yeah, it was maybe 4 foot deep.
Oh, that ain't
It
bad.
wasn't too bad.
That's not
The
bad
first
at all.
time I drove in it scared the shit out of me because I was like, oh my God, the water. And like when you hit that water, it like kind of comes up.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
don't
like,
know what it's going to
you
do.
look like, it looks like it's like 8 feet deep and your whole car is going underwater because you're making a wave. And it was like, but no, it was all good. We used to just drive around in circles and like try to pop off cookies in that thing and just, that was fun. Good old days. Good old days.
You beat the crap out of that S10.
It's not true.
I mean, it held up pretty decent for...
Yeah, 2 front differentials were cracked in half. The aluminum cases broke out there at the Coke factory. Which I don't know why it was ever called the Coke factory because I think Coke was across the street.
Yeah, Coke's across the street. It has nothing to do with it.
But I guess we always just in Coke factory.
That's the reference point.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you knew how to get out there.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, is it a factory?
Well, the first time I heard about it, it took me, I don't know, 4 hours to find the place. I've never been out
Just
that
driving
side.
around.
Yeah. I'm like,
where are you at? I was like, no, we're over here on top of the hill.
Everybody's gone by the time I got there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of good times out there. For sure. That was fun. That was what got me over the hump from street racing when I sold the Prelude.
Yep.
Because I bought the S10 and
'Cause you bought that primarily for work, didn't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
well, of course, needed a truck for work and then ended up just...
Prelude ran out of room. You couldn't put any more tools in that
Yeah,
thing.
when you got it like doing like vinyl siding or something, you needed one more piece and you have to like cut the piece in half and slide it through
Yeah.
a little back hatch and like have it hanging up over by the passenger seat and the trunk's not shut all the way. Yeah. I had air compressors, like, you know, hand tools, my impact. Actually, I didn't have an impact back then because that was before impacts were really a thing, but
Still, you had, like you said, the
drill set,
air
and
compressor,
everything,
yeah,
and
and
nail guns,
yeah,
and
nail
all that
guns.
stuff in there, and it was like it was a construction hauling bitch.
That's what I use my Honda for all the
Yeah.
time.
Took the nitrous bottle out if I really had to haul some big stuff. I remember pulling up to the street races, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not in race weight. I'm not race ready." You're like, "Whatever." Then I was like, pop the trunk. Like, what the fuck?
Dragon bumper.
Yeah, I got air compressors and everything else in there, and it's just completely chock full of construction debris. I got pulled over one time coming back. I was helping my aunt and uncle in Columbus on their straw house, and it was Friday night or whatever, and I was like, I just want to be home, you know, and there was probably something going on that was fun. So I'm hauling, you know, I'm driving just slightly over the speed limit. And
Right.
this guy in front of me is going like, he'd do like 45, 65, 45. And I finally was like, good, I'm going around this guy. And so I just hammer it. And of course, going down the hill, coming up, highway patrol, sheriff, trooper, whatever the hell it was, pops
Bacon.
right over the hill, right as I'm starting to come up the hill, and the clock's me doing 75 and a 65 or 80. I don't remember what it was. Pulls me over, looks in the car because it was getting dark, and he's like shining his light in there, and he's like, "Yeah, what line of work are you in?" I'm like, "I do construction." He's like, "Yeah, you got a lot of construction tools in here. Why do you have all these tools in the car like this?" And I'm like, just literally just coming home from working, helping my aunt and uncle. And he's like, okay.
Thought you stole that
Yeah,
shit,
he
didn't
thought
you?
I stole all the stuff. There's like a level like on the console coming
Yeah, I'm
in
gonna
between
steal
the back
that.
seat. Yeah. Yeah, it was completely packed with tools because it was like everything I thought I would need out there because we were on trim and I think we were doing tile and all that stuff for the week I was down there. So it was like just all sorts, hanging cabinets, all sorts of random shit out in there.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, back then you did what you had to do. I probably put 3 square shingles in the back of my Honda one time.
That's fucking nuts. I put was it 2.5 square? I think it was 2.5 square, maybe 2 1/3 square in the back of the S10 coming home from my grandma's house when we roofed her house in Hastings. And it was another like, Friday night type thing trying to get home. And it lifted the front of the S10 up so much at 70 miles an hour.
You
It
skate
started
around.
wandering and it's going ding, ding, ding. So we're trying to go around a semi and then like all of a sudden it's like ting, ting, ting right next to a semi. I'm like, oh, shut her down. And we're like just barely creeping by the semi like 1 mile an hour faster. Because if I went another mile an hour faster, the front end started darting everywhere. And that was just, I don't know. Those were just 3 tabs. So they were probably like 160 pounds a square or something. They weren't even that much, but that amount of weight in there, the way it was positioned with the, what did I have? 31, what the hell were they? 31, 10, 515s or something? I don't know. And
Yeah, that's probably about right. Here, 11
that's what they
10 and a
were.
half or 11.5 inch tire, wide tires, yeah.
And then, the 3-inch body lift on it.
The washer lift?
It wasn't washers. I did the.
No, I thought you did the washer lift on
No,
that
I did
bad
like
boy.
the 3-inch galvanized pipe cut to 3 inches. Maybe it was 2.5 inch cut to 3-inch chunks, and then just longer bolts. And of course, I didn't get metric bolts.
Right.
I got standard that fit kind of good, and just burned them.
Just
on
put them on
home.
in there.
I just burned them home. I'm not proud of everything I've done in my life, but I'm proud of that moment.
Full send on a not correct washer.
It was like, these feel pretty cool. You get that like 2 threads, and you're like, oh, it's close. It's good.
It's good.
It worked. There's no problems with it.
Dude, I bet you some Mexicans still rolling around in that pickup.
I wish I knew where that truck went. I wish I knew where a lot of cars I sold went. I wish I knew where the Prelude went. I knew where it went. I wish I knew where it was now because I would probably buy it again and do something retarded. Try to restore the whole thing again or something like that.
See, I mean, you did a lot of work on this Prelude you got now.
Yeah.
I mean, over the top work.
And it would have been even more work than that because that thing, I believe I saw it like, how long ago was that? Like in 17, 18 maybe? It might have been before that. It was probably in 14 or so, 2014 I seen it and I was like, oh, I think that's my car. And it's sitting in traffic. And I knew it was mine because there was that little bit of body work in the door when I bought it. Right before I bought it, actually, I'd bought the car. They had to use it for the next week, so I gave them a down payment on it. And the mom or one of the girl's friends backed into the door in quarter, just pinged it a little bit. So they had it fixed before I got it. And there was just a little spot of that mud that was kind of like a football shape right at the body line. And
Really?
I've seen that kind of popping out, and I go, that's got to be my car. There can't be another Prelude in town that has that same body damage.
It's amazing. Just trying to like look around and find like the mid 90s Hondas of any type or anymore. You don't see them.
Jeff apparently can find them. Jeff Barron.
Well, yeah, that's true. He seems
He
like
just bought another hatch
Did he really?
yesterday.
Besides the gray one.
Yeah, I just got another one.
Jesus. So
I think,
he's got the magic touch when it comes to
I
Hondas.
guess. And he's not even a Honda guy.
No, he's always like, I thought he always kind of made fun of him.
I did have him try to weld on the Prelude I have now. The block apparently had been froze at one point or something, and it cracked
Oh, really?
right by the front motor mount and the water jacket. And I didn't realize it. And if I didn't have a hood on it, or if I had a hood on it, I probably would never noticed it. But I didn't have a hood on. I'm going down the highway, and I just kind of floor it, and all of a sudden it's like, psh, it's just raining this greasy water on my windshield, and it won't come clean.
Oh, yeah, that
because it's
stuff never
coolant.
comes
Yeah.
off.
And turns out it had a crack, a hairline crack right in the middle of the block, kind of by the motor mount area. And I was like, hey, Jeff, you think he was the only person I knew with like a TIG welder or any sort of aluminum welding device at the time? And he was like, I'll bring it over. We can try it. And I don't even know how you could even weld that with like the water jackets and everything, just cooling the backside
yeah.
of the aluminum off. He had that thing cranked up to 11, and it was just.
So you guys didn't like drain the fluid or nothing? You just drove it over there?
I don't think so. I did. Yeah, I definitely just drove it over there. I don't think we drained any of the coolant or anything. I think he just was like.
Just giving it a whirl?
Yeah, he was just putting some welding rod on top of the case to see if it would stop the leak, and I don't think it ended up doing it. So it was junk, that block was, but I had backups.
Yeah.
That was actually the block I was planning on putting in the CRX.
Oh, really?
That was the one I had mounted in there at the time. I wish I had that car too.
That thing was... That was a
basket case.
That's probably a good word for it, basket case. It was a treasure trove of goodies that made that thing go.
We had some driver rotted slicks we got from Dave on it.
I like the light switch for the nitrous bottle.
Yeah, we just had a household light switch that we screwed to the whatever crossbar below the windshield.
I don't think the dash was in there. You guys
dash was all gone. Everything was gone. So you just flip the light switch. It would arm the nitrous system, and we would go.
Straight in fail-safe mode the whole time.
Yeah, we'd hit third gear, and with the nitrous, the clutch didn't have a prayer. It was just going. Come down about 300 RPM and then just take back off. It didn't have a prayer. Yeah, I think we were spraying a 75 shot on it.
Yeah,
at that time,
big,
it was just what a D15. I think was in it.
I think so.
Single overhead cam,
Yep.
1.5 liter. So, oh yeah, that was fun. We had second gen Eclipse headlights on it.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
We took an old 1 gallon lacquer thinner thing and made a hood scoop out of it for the air intake.
Yep.
The air intake was PVC. Oh yeah, that was fun. We all did that because of Phil Tran, who had that butterscotch colored second gen CRX, and
I forgot all about that.
we were gonna go prove him wrong or something.
We're just
And so
trolls, man. We're trolls before the internet.
Yeah,
that's how we
true.
trolled.
Yeah. So we drug that 85 CRX out of Aaron's backlot field. No title, no nothing.
Wasn't that his brother's?
I don't know whose it was.
It's either his or his brother, because I think his brother had one too.
Yeah, there was two of them back there. We picked the better of the two, I thought.
Because there was, where were we at sometime? I can't remember. It's like some little book place. It wasn't like a little bookstore, but it's a book place like down by where Higley used to live, down in that area. And his brother would like run a little CRX and just like pull the e-brake and like slide into the parking spot.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Matthew was crazy. I didn't get to hang out with him near as much as I hung out with Aaron, but yeah, he was crazy.
Yeah, he's fun. They're all fun.
Yeah, I don't know what the Aaron's. He started. Him and Ryan Coffey are doing the road course up there at I-29.
Oh, like racing?
Yeah, so they started. I don't know if they're racing or just doing like open track days, fun days, or whatever. So they messaged me or were talking to me about going up there, and so I'm like, yeah, I get the Honda done. I'm going to go up there. So I think it's opened up, or should be open by now, or real close to open by now. So.
See, I knew they were working on having that track out there, but it's pretty small, isn't it?
It seemed pretty big. We went to Rust Timber 2 years ago, and that's out at I-29, and they have the drag strip open.
Maybe that's what
Saturday,
I'm thinking, as small as the drag strip.
Drag strip. Yeah. And then, but the road course actually was, we did a parade on it. You weren't supposed to floor it or, get aggressive. But of course, I'm in the sub 100. And I'm like, I'd go real slow, little space build up between us, and then getting like, and then,
can't help yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be done.
I just want to floor it.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
If you put it on a racetrack, then that has to happen.
Yeah. So
they're even insane just mentioning not being able to go fast on a racetrack.
Yeah. I mean, even I don't have anything that ever goes fast, really.
Oh, neither.
Figuratively speaking. I mean,
the fastest thing I got is my wife's Acura.
Okay, yeah, you're really lackluster.
It is pretty sad.
You got to step that up a little bit.
Pretty pathetic. Shoot, I haven't owned anything fast since the Talon.
Yeah, DSM days. Popping off all-wheel drive cookies.
It was fun.
That was good stuff, for sure. Oh, the good old days.
That didn't matter when you broke it or not because we were just fixing it anyway.
Because it was always broken.
Yeah. There's always something.
Yeah, that's for sure. So for those of you that don't know, Jeramie is the one that built our trophies for last year's car show.
Yep.
That's why he has a table in his garage, and he's a fan of the woodworking and things like that. Carbon fiber inlays and all that stuff. So we've been in discussions about making the new trophy for the 2022. By the way, save the date. October 8th, 2022, FTP Speed Shop.
Didn't you just put that on Facebook too? Wasn't that the date, right?
Yeah, that was.
Say.
That was Brandy's idea. And
I don't check Facebook a lot, but I was thinking that's what that date was representing.
Yeah. So that will be the day for the car show. So if you can make it, you better be there.
At least swing by and check it out.
Yeah, and if any of my friends or not friends want to be a sponsor for the show, we're looking for trophy sponsors and or raffle prize sponsors. So.
And hey, I was the ugly duckling last year. I had the only just a car. It wasn't a car. It was the Jeep. That's it.
Yeah,
I just took the top off of the Jeep.
In your Jeep's defense, it's like a metallic grabber green color, so it's very bright. And I think that, 7-year-old kids really like it.
Yeah. That's probably why I like it, because
you never grew up past 7 years old.
In my mind, I'm still pretty much 7.
Yeah, I can see that. So,
but back to the Broncos, since we kind of got off on a long tangent.
Holy shit, we went on a tangent. See, this is why we don't have any talking points, because
that's probably better that way.
Tangents, yeah.
But yeah, so wanted to put a Coyote motor in it, do a steel tub, steel body, put 4-6 inch lift on it. You
gonna do a body lift or a suspension lift?
It'd be all suspension if I could get away with it. I think I could mostly get away with it. That way the bumpers line up right.
Oh yeah.
Because all right, so you kind of mentioned the carbon fiber thing, right? So I mess around a little bit with carbon fiber, but doing the dash, because the dash is steel, doing that in carbon fiber.
Does the dash kind of have like a curvature and then straight down, or is it kind of just square?
It is straight up just bent sheet metal.
Oh, is it really? From the factory, just straight square?
Straight up, yeah. Just 90-degree edges all the way around that thing. It is straight as everything. And then, carbon fiber that. Going really crazy since they're like the stamped steel bumper on the front of it. Going carbon fiber with the bumpers.
So when you do all that, like especially those big pieces like that, like you do a vacuum bag or whatever it's called. Yeah,
so I do the vacuum bag infusion method is the one I like to do the most. Seems to work out really well. So you actually do everything in a mold, and it's not really a bag, but you put it over the plastic over it.
So you can draw a vacuum on it.
Yeah, and then you put a vacuum on one end of it, and then you actually let the resin in at the other end, and it sucks it all the way through there. So it has no air bubbles whatsoever through that whole piece.
And it'll literally suck the resin.
Yeah, it's cool.
All the way through it. You don't have any issues with like dry spots or anything?
No. For like a part that's depending on how the part is, it's just you could put like multiple resin spots where you introduce the resin. Yeah. And then, so if you think that's going to be like a spot where there might be a dry spot, you put a resin trap there, and so it goes really even. And then that way, the resin to carbon fiber ratio is more consistent and better, because you really want a low amount of resin. You want enough resin where you're sopping all the material and the carbon fiber, but you don't want too much. So that's where it kind of sucks with you do the old school vacuum or vacuum bagging method, or just brushing it on and then sanding it down, is that the resin gets too thick and that turns brittle.
So the resin is more or less just a glue to hold the strength together.
Yeah, it's just the binder to
Because
hold
you're
it
not
all
getting
together.
any strength from the resin, really.
Not a
other
lot.
than just keeping the fibers where they belong,
Yeah.
or where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, because like those pieces that I gave you,
Mm-hmm.
that's resin infused, but you can bend it because it's so thin.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it still has, the resin still has a bunch of malleability into it, even though it is
Yeah,
cured.
Harrison was running around the garage the other day like that was a gun. He was shooting his brother. I wonder if I can find one of those. I forget where I put them. I think I put them up here.
Yeah, because what I give you, like 6 of them,
However many they...
4 of them, whatever the offcuts were, I gave you all of them. Yeah, so this is just, I think this one, if I remember right, is like 3 layers of carbon fiber.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
And then, yeah, it's just resin infused. So it's still
I
really
don't know how far you can bend it before it breaks. I've never really messed with it.
quite a ways.
I mean, that's actually more than I thought I'd get out of it. You can hear it kind of
You can,
popping.
yeah.
It's
So,
kind of crazy. That's really flexible. You never think of carbon fiber as being really flexible. You think about it being really strong and having a lot of strength, but
yeah.
that's pretty impressive, actually.
Well, and then if you bend it this way, you got a lot more playability. But then if you try to bend it this way, even though it's shorter,
Whoa, it's way more rigid.
yeah. So what I did, because it is 3 layers, if I remember right. So
That's
you do
kinda crazy.
1 layers where the weave is going this direction, and I did another layer where the weave's going this way, and then the last so one way
Where
would be
it's
more pliable than the other
Double
ways.
is stronger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So then if you wanted to make it even stronger, you could do, instead of doing like a 90 with the plies, you do like a 45 and then a 90, and then it would be more rigid
you
all
get-
the way
You can
around.
get a 45 this way, 45 that way,
Yeah.
plus your 90s. Kind of get a whole 360-degree type weave going there.
Yeah. There's so much crap that you can do with this stuff. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, when you ever get that big, you got to have a form though, or something to when you make that, right? Or mold, I guess. Form's the wrong word, but a mold.
Mold,
So,
yeah.
like if I wanted to do, say, the gauge cluster in the sub 100, like I'd have to have the
So,
front side for that molded, or so that it
yeah.
had the shape.
Yeah.
And then-
So depending on how you wanted to do it, that's how you do it. So you'd actually take your dash or whatever you wanted, or the cluster,
Mhm.
and then you could put it upside down or facing up, and then you would just make it so you would I'm trying to remember what that stuff's called, but it's like a plastic, it's for mold making, but I can't remember what it's called now. But anyway, it's like a liquid, of course. You pour it over there and it gets solid and hard, and then
like plaster of Paris, but different.
it's actually stronger than that, and I can't remember what it's called now. I'm going retarded. But then you pull that out, and then you reinforce that mold on the backside with more fiberglass or whatever, and then you could make 10, 30, 40, 100 molds.
And then at that
after
point, you
that.
just repop it, right? Like once you have that mold, you could just go. Psh, psh, psh.
Yeah, so you take that mold, do it that way, and then I take a primer, but it's a epoxy primer.
Mm-hmm.
Is you can epoxy primer it, but then what's nice about epoxy primer is you can actually put it in a wow, I'm just going dumb as shit right now. Buff it out so you can make it glass finish on the epoxy
okay.
primer.
So that'll polish and take a shine to
Yeah,
it
really well.
Okay.
And it's not difficult. And then you just put some mold release in there, resin release in there, and then you could start putting.
So the basis, it's going to come out looking however smooth your mold is, right?
Yeah.
So if your mold's got a few imperfections,
It'll
or
show
if
those.
it's orange pill, for lack of a
Yep.
better term, it won't look like this mirror finish.
No.
It'll have more of an eggshell finish to it.
Yeah, it'll look exactly like whatever the finish is on that
What did
piece.
you use on is this plastic
No,
for this finish?
I used a piece of glass.
Oh, okay.
So I actually got a piece of glass that's a 1/4 inch thick, and I don't know, at the time I think it was like 48 by 48 piece of glass.
Mhm.
And then what's shiny on this is there is a UV. It's like a clear coat, but it's UV rated.
Yeah.
Because resins kind of has problems with UV protecting. Some resins do anyway.
Yeah.
So it has a UV. So I actually sprayed that on like you would a normal car, whatever.
On the glass?
On the glass.
And then it gets picked up by the resin?
Yeah, and then I did everything over the top of it like you would a normal mold, and then resined it, and then this peeled right up, and it was that perfect. So I didn't sand or do anything to this side of it at all.
So when you made those, did you just make like a 4x or like a...
Yeah, it was like a 4x4 sheet is what I
it?
made, and then I cut it down into like...
And then you just ran it out on your router table to cut out the logo?
Yeah.
Because these are actually the
offcuts.
Yeah, the inside of the logo. That's the inside part right there.
Yep.
And so he's like, here, you want some carbon fiber? I was like, hell yeah, I do. I'm a ricer. I haven't figured out where I'm going to put them yet.
I'm a huge fan of the carbon fiber, and it's even more cool, like actually working with it. And then I just found out another way that's kind of cool too. So people are taking molds. So this is like the old, I wouldn't say old school mold, but two-sided molds. So you make whatever, and then use chopped carbon fiber.
Chopped carbon fiber, I seen that the other day. That shit looks cool.
Yeah, dude.
Looks really cool.
Yeah. And then putting that in there, and then you actually take the mold and squeeze it together, and then the resin will leak out or whatever, but then you pop the mold, so then you can have a complete 3D type of part.
Anything
that looks good on all the sides.
So do you just dump a bunch of resin in there with the chop and kind of shake it out and then just squeeze it all together, and any extra resin just gets shot out the side?
Yeah, if you can compress it enough. So that's the kind of hard part about it. So
you almost got to have like a steel form or something.
Yeah, I've seen actually someone do a small part, so like a bike handle or a brake lever. Brake lever. So on that one, and they actually 3D printed the mold. So they had a female and a male mold.
Oh,
and then actually they made a 3-piece mold out of it, so it would come all out and not have a problem. I did that and then squeezed it together, and it come out and it looked awesome. And they actually did a test, and it was stronger than the aluminum counterpart. Yeah.
Well, I've heard too, like with the 3D printing and stuff, with certain filaments and things like that. You can make like black aluminum and stuff like that is what it's called, but I think it's carbon nylon fiber or whatever, and that's supposedly, one of the best that's moderately easy to print with as far as strength wise goes.
Yeah, they got some crazy stuff. So they got carbon fiber, so it'd be like powder that's in the nylon, in the pigment, or in the filament. In the filament.
Yeah.
And then they got a new kind that actually has one solid carbon strand in the filament.
Oh, like down the middle or whatever?
Yeah. So that's supposed to be even more. But
how does it pick up and go to a next piece with that carbon in it, or is it just string the carbon to the next piece?
No, so there's an extra thing that like cuts the filament after each level. So
it has one extra step.
So that one you actually have, it's a machine that's dedicated for that type of thing. It's not like the machines that you or I have that do it. But so there's nylon, there's PETG, there's regular
I haven't done any
PLA.
PLA and PLA Plus is the only thing I've messed with.
Yeah, that's the only thing I messed with too. And then I saw something a while back ago where it was springy, so it was almost like a rubber kind of.
I have done that. Dude. Chuck got some of that. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. It looks pretty wild.
Yeah, like on Thingiverse or something, you can print shoes. Like somebody made shoes out of it or something. Cool. I don't remember if it was Thingiverse or where I saw it, but you can 3D print shoes out of that. It's PLA rubber. I don't remember.
I can't remember the name of it, but
it's like really flexible PLA. Yeah. It's kind of like a rubber plastic.
I saw a guy make a hose from it. So a hose for like a CNC machine. So when it went up and down, it moved with the machine. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's freaking cool, the stuff you can make.
I gotta say, it's so awesome to be in this era of a lifetime with the amount of stuff that you can do in your garage or at home or in your basement even.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Well, I mean, these
incredible.
things are 3D printed. These are just GoPro things.
And they look really good.
This was my first thing I ever designed. I think I did this on Tinkercad or something. This is the radiator hold down for the Prelude.
Okay.
I was just trying to see if I could do it, and I just measured it out. This is a little grommet, whatever, and it fits in there. And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to use this, but it was kind of fun to try to design something and figure it out.
So
and
yeah,
that's with PLA silk.
Yep.
So that looks a little more chrome or shiny. So
the bed I'm making is for my wife's sister's daughter. And
what?
The bed I'm building.
You're building a bed too?
Yeah, building a bed too.
Okay. So you said table earlier, so I didn't know.
Table and a bed.
All right.
So the bed I'm building also is for my, she's going to be 5. So this is what Grandma wanted to get her. So I'm building the bed. And so in my fashion, I can't just build a bed because that's not what I do. I have to put some little weird spin on it. So found the PLA silk and bought pink.
Yeah.
So I got pink PLA silk, and I'm going to make a unicorn horn and put it on top of the bed.
Yeah.
So it'll have like a crown on the top of that bed and a horn.
Have you seen that filament that's like every
multicolored
meter or whatever is a different color? Yeah. So you can do like, there's so much cool stuff.
Looks like a lollipop or something.
Yeah, like I've seen like gold and red, and like people do like dragons and shit out of it, and it's just, I don't know, it just looks cool as shit.
It's crazy.
We made some little octopi. I don't think I can say octopussy on the internet. Shit. But
too late.
It was nuts. Brielle, she was on Thingiverse, and she's like, yeah, these would be so cool. Can we do these? And I looked at it and I was like, Brielle, that's like going to be like 30 pieces I have to put together. What? No, we're not going to do that. And I download the file and it prints it all at one time.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Like chain links that link together, but it leaves one space in between. So when you peel it off, they're just all connected and they're just chains. It's like,
so awesome.
That's fucking insane. Like, how is that even possible?
Yeah, just think about your mind on how to like just 3D model that.
And engineering that stuff and trying to figure out what.
Yeah, because, I mean, you take the thickness of the PLA, you got to keep that in your mind. If you really want something.
0.2 millimeters. Or whatever, yeah.
And then.
0.02. I think it's 0.2.
0.2.
Yeah.
And then you want the wall thickness to be a certain, so you got to take that into consider while you're modeling it. Then 45-degree angles, or what's that angle of cutoff to where you don't need supports when you're printing and stuff like that. People are pretty ingenious. So I built cabinets in my garage, and the handles to open all the cabinets are 3D printed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What printer are you using?
The Chinese model.
Ender?
Yes, the Ender 3 Pro.
Ender 3 Pro.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like an 8-inch bed, maybe, I think.
Yeah.
8-inch bed, 8-inch height somewhere.
It feels like it can go higher than it goes. I think, because I don't know if Chuck's is a Pro or if it's just the Ender 3.
Yeah, because that's what I got. Yeah, this is like what, $200 or something like that. I think they're
$180 on Amazon.
Man, so awesome.
Like, and everything's free on the internet as long as you're not going to sell it. Like, it's free. Like these little guys, that was a file. Huge shout out to whoever designed that. I don't remember, but
that's what's crazy to me. Is how many files there are that people just design or whatever, and then it's on Thingiverse, and you can just download it and use it.
Yeah, you can download. You can make guns. And make guns. You can't make guns.
You can't make guns.
You can't make a gun with a 3D printer. However, you can make parts of a gun with a 3D printer.
Yes, that might lead to a full-fledged fake toy gun.
Yeah, if you don't buy the rest of the parts, it's just basically a
paperweight.
Yeah, it's a kid's toy gun.
Yeah.
So
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's cool though.
But such a rabbit hole you can go down, man. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Anything you can possibly imagine is on there. Yeah.
And then more.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to print off a socket extension organizer.
Oh, yeah.
And I just haven't done it yet because all my... By the way, guys, you are...
Oh, yeah. You never brought that up. What the heck?
First podcast in the new FTP Speed Shop podcasting studio. And by that, I mean it's the exact same garage. It's just been pimped. So what do you think?
It looks amazing. The floors look good.
Hey,
It actually doesn't sound too bad in here.
I think the sound's going to be a little tinnier because of the metal ceiling, and there's no carpet or insulation.
Yeah, there's nothing in here to
There's-
get rid of dampen the noise or anything.
But
Dude,
yeah, it's been on my radar for a long time.
I remember you building this garage,
Yeah, you helped pour the concrete.
and it's finally finished.
Yeah, it's close. It's very close.
Looks good.
I'm gonna go once the floor paint's completely dry,
Right.
which I think it's got till Sunday.
Now, are you going to retire and not ever build anything out here again?
Yeah, no, I'm done, guys. It's been a good run. I want to thank everybody for following me on this journey, and peace out.
He's going to get into crocheting and
Yeah.
knitting.
Yeah, knitting and raising chickens. That's my new thing. That's my new hobby. But I want to get I'll probably move the Chevelle over here.
You can finish that side.
Yeah, and then I won't finish that side like this side, but I want to like it's all plywood in there, so I'll probably skim the walls and then sand them with mud, and then finish the ceiling. That's drywall, and then just go in there with the airless and just spray gloss white floor to ceiling. Probably won't paint the floor, with the same wall paint because that shit just peels off.
Yeah.
But that way it's just super reflective for
When you paint or
when I
whatever in
paint
there.
or whatever, and then that'll probably end up being the dirty booth and the paint booth, and then this will kind of be where shit gets put back together. And dude, I don't know. It's like shit. When did we build this? We probably poured the concrete in
Oh, I don't even know.
05,
man.
06. Did we pour this in the fall after we bought the place? It would have been.
I think
I
so.
think it was 06. It might have been the next year, but it was close.
I
Either
can't
way.
remember if it was in spring or fall.
Yeah, and we hung the drywall then, in like 09 maybe, me and Spike did. And I was always going to finish it and do the ceiling and do all that stuff. And I was like, I don't have any money right now. I was still in school and all that stuff. Or maybe I was just out of school at that point. And it was just like, yeah, I can't do it. And then it just became a cluttered mess.
Yeah.
Projects happen, storing stuff. You do a project, now you got 30 parts left over. And it just turns into a shit show. So...
Dude, you never have gotten the privilege of moving all this shit to a new house either. You've been smart enough to stay in one house your whole time. That's it's a good move. It really is.
Me and Brandy both talk about that, and we're like, yeah, we want to move bad. We want to move really bad. We want to get in the country and get away from, the city stuff, have a little more room to spread out, especially with the business and stuff, and other equipment and things like that. It's kind of hard to pack it all in a city lot. So
you're pretty fortunate you got a good location really for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it works out really well, and I've no qualms with it, but it could always be better.
Yeah, yeah.
You're always aiming for the stars, and
always never ends.
Falling way short. Yeah, stars are up there, and I'm going. But hey, we're trying to better ourselves, I guess, at that aspect. But my dad's garage is now pretty much done for the most part, and it's finished, all drywall. And I know I talk about this on every fucking podcast because I had a boner for it. But, and then there's a guy on the Prelude forum or Prelude Facebook page that had, he just got his garage done, and he did acid etched floors and all that stuff. And there's like a million can lights. And I was like, damn, man, when am I going to do that to my garage? When am I going to pimp my garage? And then, I don't know, something I was like, got the Prelude done. I was like, I think it's time.
Yep.
And then I walked in here, and I'd been talking it up all day long. And me and Aaron walked in here, like we got off work early from a job or whatever one day. And we walked in here, and it was like, yeah, no, I'm not ready. No. Anxiety came over me because I was like, what am I going to do with all of this stuff?
Yeah.
There's so much shit in here.
It's glorious how much shit you have in here.
Yeah, it was insane.
Had in here.
Oh, it's still in here. It's just above the ceiling now.
You just packed it all in there and left
We
it?
sheeted the top of the rafters.
Oh, so you got like a manhole or something over there?
So now we got...
Little storage area.
Yeah, you go up in the loft and you can jump up there. So now we have all the storage up on top now.
Nice.
But the first day when we started peeling stuff off the wall, I was like, anxiety ridden. I was like, oh,
Dude, you had like what, 1,000?
Don't do it. Why are we doing this? Put it back on the wall.
There's 1,000 license plates alone.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the license plates because I don't like the clutter. My idea originally was like, because I wanted the toolbox area to look kind of like a bar, So I got the cabinets with the shelves in between and the lights. I was like, oh, it would look kind of cool to do like a little bar thing. And I was like, ooh, I could use those license plates as like a backsplash.
Oh, yeah.
And I started kind of setting them up there. I was like, it looks pretty tacky. I was like, nah, it looks clean right now and everything's nice. And so I was like, nah. And like Zach said, he's like, keep the important license plates and like maybe get like a picture frame or something and like frame them. And so then they look like a piece of art. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea, actually, because then it's not just me screwing license plates to the wall randomly.
Right, yeah.
So
it doesn't look like Shenanigans or Bennigan's or whatever those fucking restaurants were. Yeah.
Need more flair.
You only have 32 pieces of flair. We require 42.
Yeah. If you want to do the bare minimum. So, yeah, I don't know. The loft area is still a shit show. A lot of stuff went up there, and I have not gone up there and organized it yet, but
yeah. I got a
little
shed in my backyard, and that's kind of where I try to stuff everything. I still got too much stuff in the garage, too.
Yeah, I can't imagine all the woodworking stuff and the Bronco in that back corner. Because, I mean, you have, what, deep three-car garage?
It's 3 wide, and then the single stall is 2 deep. Yeah, which is awesome. But I ran out of room. 4-stall garage, ran out of room, dude.
You're working in a 2-stall garage just fine.
Yeah.
And then you move over there in that massive garage. You're like, out of room.
Out of room.
Out of room.
I need a bigger house already. I haven't even been in it 2 years.
You don't need a bigger house. You need a bigger garage.
Well, I'm landlocked, dude.
Yeah, that's true. You are. You could add on to the single stall.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you got a 20-foot rear yard, so you could add on to that.
To the back of the house, there's probably, I bet you there's 10 more feet there, if not 12.
Oh, because it steps right there. Yeah, but you could go past the back of the house.
Really?
And you could make it branch out and to be a third car, and you just have to drive through that, and you could have 3 more cars in the backyard. Oh, wait, never mind. The city won't let you do that.
City won't let me do it.
City won't let
HOA probably won't let me do it either.
Oh, fuck.
Because, of course, that's always
something.
a killjoy.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first experience with that kind of stuff.
You go from Havelock to HOAs.
Yeah.
Or no, I guess you went to the Highlands.
Highlands first, yeah.
They didn't probably have those.
No. It was nice there.
Yeah.
It's actually a really nice place. Like, the whole, like, area. Because it wasn't, like, a through street.
Mm-hmm.
So no one hardly ever drove up and down our street unless you lived on that street. And then all the neighbors were awesome. It's quiet.
I've never lived in a neighborhood with awesome neighbors.
Yeah, you've always had one douchebag neighbor, haven't you, your whole fucking life?
Two
for
to
sure.
2 in every single neighborhood I live in. I don't know what it is.
Well, I don't think it's you.
Well, I know it's not me because fuck Mr. Perfect and fuck Orlin. Well, he's dead now. I don't know about Mr. Perfect, but fuck that asshole. He, I don't know. I don't know if I need to air his dirty laundry out, but he was going to lose his house and he shot himself in the head at 22.
I mean, there's choices you got to make in life.
That's not one I'm going to make. I'm like, yeah. I mean, maybe being an 80-year-old man, you probably don't have a lot of other choices. But
I could think of a few. I mean, there's plenty of bridges in this town to live under.
Yeah. I feel like
there's plenty of meth, I'm sure, underneath those bridges too, or fentanyl.
Yeah, and I guess too, when you're 80, if you start hitting that meth hard too, it'll probably take your heart out. So
that or make you younger at that point in life.
It's true. Whoa, is that the fountain of youth?
Maybe for a couple years at least.
Yeah, like at least 3.5 weeks.
Yeah,
he acted like a 20-year-old.
Exactly.
He was chasing skirt.
So yeah, I mean, so that's what's going on in my garage, and you just redid your garage. You know, I was kind of thinking on the way over here, because I always get a bug for a car, you know, every once in a while it hits
Especially
me.
like in the springtime.
Yeah, it's summertime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fridays, go cruising around a little bit. I was thinking, should do like a project of some sort. Maybe that's not huge, but like
Like a group project?
yeah, because you haven't even, you haven't put much on the the YouTube site lately, really, just the podcast?
Yeah.
Because you've been
of
so busy or burned out or what?
most of the, well, okay. So like, it's really hard to like, I don't know, knick-knack stuff. Like when I first started, I was like just putting out whatever I was doing. And then I realized like, this is really boring. And maybe people like seeing that, but to me it was like, okay, I'm just wasting time editing, going over like what I did the last 2 days and putting a video out. So if it's not somewhat entertaining or beneficial, then I don't feel like I need to put a video out on it.
I think the hard part would be having enough progress where like it actually feels like it matters or something like that.
To make a video.
Yeah.
That was the biggest part.
Yeah.
Like when you're block sanding a car.
For 4 months in a straight.
No. When you're block sanding a car and then you block it all off and the camera doesn't show what you did and then you spray it back with primer, but you spent, 2 nights or 3 nights doing that. It's like, okay, I started with my car and primer at the beginning of the video. Hey guys, welcome back to FTP Speed Shop. On this episode, we're going to go ahead and block sand Project Prelude for the 4th time. And then you just time lapse and you go,
Yeah, bro.
You're just block sanding. And then, 15 minutes later, you're like, with the same music in the background. And it's not, I don't know. It's like, I didn't do anything.
Right.
I did something, but I didn't do anything on video.
Yeah,
it just looks
yeah.
like I ended up in the exact same spot. So it's really hard to...
Maybe that's what you should do. Just do the same thing over and over again every single week for like the next 10 years.
just put it on a loop. Yeah, just slightly edit one screen so it's a little different.
Change your shirt.
Yeah. If I do it on a green screen, I can just... If I pretend to paint on a green screen, I can just change my shirt every day and just walk around the car. Oh, it's perfect. Genius. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard. And then wrapping up the Prelude. And then it's like I rolled immediately into this. So I have videoed this stuff, but I didn't want to I thought maybe I'll do it in 2 videos, but didn't really have like a... And that's the other thing, too. When I start doing a video... I'm like super jazzed about it.
Yeah.
So I like do a lot and then I slowly fade out to like, I just got to get shit done.
Yeah.
And then by the end, it's like the first 15 minutes of the video, 10 minutes of the video are me like painting the wall, mudding the wall, doing all this stuff. And then like the last 5 minutes are just like, yeah, okay, so this is what I did. This is what I've been working the last 2 weeks. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Yep. All right, guys, it's going to be a wrap.
Yeah.
And then, so I have a couple cool ideas that I want to do. Like I recorded a spin where I just spun around in a circle at the beginning. I had this idea in my head. And so then I want to just start increasing the speed, like maybe 3 or 4 times. And then cut to the final product video.
Oh, yeah.
And then slow it down.
Oh.
So it's like,
bam, done.
And then it's done. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic there. And so that was the whole idea. That was the only idea I had for the garage video, was to do the spin thing. So I have not yet done the final product spin, which I was probably going to do tonight, maybe, possibly. And then I'll have to go, oh, yeah, by the way, we got chickens.
We got chickens also.
We got chickens.
Poof.
Yeah.
Chickens.
So... that I have been recording stuff. Well, now the other thing too is like shit takes so long to get parts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I tore the LS or the LS out, obviously the Chevelle spun a rod bearing.
Yeah. So that's probably what you're.
Got that 6 liter. Got that over. I took the LS1 in the 6 liter over to the machine shop a couple weeks ago or whatever. The 6 liter checks out. Everything's going to work on it. It's got 4/1000 taper or something in the cylinder, so it's going to need to go at least 10 over. I would like to just do with the 6 liter, just make it all new new rotating assembly anyway.
What was the compression ratio before
On the
on your? Because is that same motor, or different motor?
this is a different motor because I had the LS1 5.7,
And that's what you had the supercharger on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is just a nothing 6-liter that I got from TJ.
So like a pickup 6-liter?
Yeah, LQ4, and didn't know anything about it. Camera is too hot. We just lost Jeramie. Camera got too hot.
I do that to people. I don't know what to tell you.
He got the camera super freaking hot. So sometimes these GoPros are temperamental. I don't know what the deal is with them, but yeah, nothing 6-liter, and it was like $300, so I couldn't pass it up. Like even if it was, I mean, worst case scenario, it spun a main bearing and it was shot, but it was like, we'll take the chance. Took the heads in, took the block in, the crank and the rods and all the pistons and stuff in, and heads are cracked, so they're junk, which apparently those 317 castings crack in between the valves, apparently.
In between the valves?
Yeah. So apparently that's a common problem with them, just shitty casting, I guess. Because he called it when he goes, yeah, those 317s, yeah, they're probably cracked. I was like, okay.
What do you know?
Yeah, and it turns out they were cracked in 4 spots. But block cleaned or checked out good. It's all shop, or it's not shop peen, but whatever they do to clean it up. He bakes it and whatever, rolls it in this thing, and it cleans it all up. It looks freaking amazing compared to what it was in there looking like.
Big ass dishwasher type things?
Yeah, but it dishwashes it with like really tiny stainless steel BBs.
Oh, yeah.
Like shotgun shot, probably.
Yeah.
Is the best way to describe it. And so that cleaned up good, and I'm like, okay, perfect. And I had looked at these Summit Racing, what is it, Pro LS or LS Pro or whatever, rotating assembly kits. I swear to God, they had one in stock a month ago when I was looking at them for the 5.7. Yeah, no, nothing in stock. Like, as soon as I could get one that won't work for my setup because it's a 5,000 over, and the block won't clean up probably in that. So is May 2nd. Otherwise, it's basically July 1st, end of June, July 1st before I can
even touch it, basically.
Even get it. And that's estimated.
Oh, so it's probably coming from China. It'll be another 6 months.
Parts of it, I think, are definitely coming from China. Yeah.
Be sitting off the coast.
Pistons are made in America. I think the rods are finished machined in America or something like that, I believe is what they said. So, I always love that when they put the sticker.
Yeah. Kind of made in America.
Assembled in America with international parts. It's like,
you missed that one, guy.
All right, guys. No, it's made in China, basically. Yeah. You guys just screwed the outer case on.
Yeah, exactly. And put it in its packaging and shipped it out.
So, but yeah, that shit's out. So and then he can't do anything machine work wise until he has the parts, because he has to measure the pistons and make sure the clearances are right and do all that jazz. So it's like, dude, if I'm lucky, the Chevelle will be back running in August. If I'm lucky.
Dang. At least you got the sub 100, I guess, huh?
In the Honda, I guess.
Oh, yeah. We need to work on that.
Yeah, we do need to tune that.
Yeah.
So I would like to get it aligned, but I think I got the brakes figured out. You
think you do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they were sticking, weren't they?
Yeah, they were dragging really bad, and that stupid proportioning valve was upside down. So
how's that happen?
Well, it looks the exact same either way. Turns out the bolts, threads sticking through have to be pointed up, not the heads pointed down. So I figured, heads pointing down, whatever. Or, whatever. It looks the same either way. Who gives a shit? It's all wired or plumbed right. But when you flip it over, now this one has to go over to here or whatever. And so, like, all the time I spent making those lines look really clean, it's like, I fucking don't care anymore. Whatever. Just get the damn thing done and get it on the road again.
And that sucks because you got to be careful because you got all that good paint in there.
Well, and here's the other bad thing is I did .5, which doesn't eat your paint.
Yeah.
But apparently eats all the seals out of anything that's .3, .4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they say. So we're going to find out.
Huh, maybe that's the reason all my years I've always had brake problems in the Bronco too, and I'd put new boosters and new
running .5 in it.
Oh yeah, just whatever. I didn't give a shit. Pour whatever in there.
Could be. Yeah, because the guy at O'Reilly's like, well, yeah, you're getting a .5. That's a completely different animal. And I go, I know. I got it. They're all brand new stuff. It's all clean lines. He's like, yeah, but it'll eat the seals out. And then somebody else told me that. And I was like, fuck. I thought they just didn't intermingle well.
Yeah, that's what I always thought too.
So apparently it'll eat the seals, I guess.
Whatever.
I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it until there's a major problem.
I wouldn't trust anybody from O'Reilly's or Auto Parts or anything like that.
Yeah,
anyway.
this dude's he was actually pretty good. He was pretty good help. So, but.
So yeah, so if we wanted to do a project like that, some type of small project, you almost have to get everything before you even start.
So I have an idea. And I will flash a picture of it up in the podcast.
He'll forget.
You're right. I probably actually no. I reminded myself,
Do you?
but when I listen to this, I'll remember. Oh yeah, I told myself I had to do this.
So you don't go and take notes like a smart person probably would, because I wouldn't take notes either.
No, but I watched the entire podcast while I'm editing it.
Yeah, it's
to chop
noise
stuff
levels
out.
and move things around or whatever.
So I'll be like, oh yeah, I did say that. So then I'll go find the picture and I'll put it in there. So I have like a 50s mail truck.
I remember you talking about this.
Yeah. It kind of looks like a really small Winnebago. Like, I think the wheelbase has got to be less than 6 feet.
So are you talking gambler type of a situation or beating the
no.
streets kind of situation?
I want to put a mid to rear engine in it. However close a TH350 connected to the rear end.
So the drive shaft is like
No drive
non-existent,
shaft.
just straight to?
Straight U joints like that. And then make the motor move, put the motor on pivot so it can move at the rear end. And call it twin snail mail, because we're going to have 2 turbos on it. One side still is painted like the original 1950s, like postal
Really?
mail truck. The other side, somebody rolled over it with like some latex paint to make it look like, to be the same color as the barn it was parked next to.
So it was like a storage shed for somebody.
Yeah, what it was is they cut the center link and they welded onto it something so that actually it was a job trailer back in the 70s probably. So it had this neck that was connected to the center link and then maybe connected to somewhere in the back of the frame for a pivot point. So when the truck turned, it would turn the front wheels and it would follow.
Really?
Yeah. It's ridiculously crazy that somebody put that much energy into it. But apparently, enclosed trailers weren't as plentiful as they are nowadays. So
Wasn't a new motor set? They got to have been cheap back then.
I think they just got a free mail truck and they're like, this is the perfect job trailer for our transits or whatever to put in.
Yeah, bring it down. We're just going to hook this thing up right here.
Yeah,
We'll load this thing right here. And here we go.
Get out that dang old torch and we're going to freaking fix this thing up good.
I like
So
it.
I may have got that. And I think I want to do something with that. It might be kind of a fun. Make it do wheelies.
They had an ice cream style, like van-ish type of, had to been from 50s or 60s too, but it was this little antique store off of Havelock Street, like just north of Havelock, like a block. There was this antique
Oh, okay, yeah.
by the
Railroad tracks there.
yeah,
Yeah.
his back there forever, and I always thought that would be the coolest thing to get that and put just a ridiculous like LSX motor in there and twin turbo the shit out of that too.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what I thought today while I was, because I do a lot of contemplating going to work, I can get pistons. I can get Gen 4 rods. I have a 6-liter crank that's the same as the LS1 crank. I'm not going to be able to have the Chevelle going this year anyway. Like, maybe I just order all the parts, get the 5.7 up and running, find a 4L80 or a 400 or something like that. And we put the blower in that thing, in the mail truck. And we make it do a wheelie.
It sounds.
I just want to do a wheelie. I don't know why. I want to
Wheelies,
do a wheelie
wheelie?
so bad.
It's probably safer to do wheelie in a 4-wheeled vehicle than a 2-wheeled vehicle, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so. Or at least it gives you the illusion that you're safer. I don't know. So
it's really hard to find things that are kind of weird and unique nowadays, and just tinker with them with a small budget just to do something. You know,
I'm not building another Chevelle. I don't have the budget to do that.
No.
Let me see if I can find that fucking picture.
It takes way too much money to do that kind of stuff nowadays. Even just to like, shoot, I was even looking for like a 90, no, not even, 90, mid 90s Fox body again. And even if you find one that looks halfway decent, that doesn't look like it's going to fall apart, that they haven't modded to complete Kingdom Come.
Oh, well, and those things too, like the second that you start putting any sort of power to them, just twist those fucking chassis in half if they don't have fucking, you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. The subframe connectors and all that other stuff.
Connecting rods, and I was like, that's not right. You know that shit and stuff.
I know what you're talking about. Shit, I don't know shit about fuck,
Yeah, no, I never was a big fan of the Foxes or any of that shit, but Higley kind of made me appreciate them, I guess, because you have fun in a car and all of a sudden you like have memories about it and you're kind of like, oh, you reminisce, I guess.
Yeah,
is probably the
yeah.
best word. Same thing with third gens. I always thought third gen Camaros were just the ugliest damn thing ever made. And then AJ got his, and I was like, I don't know, that car's kind of gay. Don't buy it. And then it's like, whoa, this car's really fun. Like, little wah.
That's the thing.
Sliding corners and like they might not be the prettiest car, but damn, they can be really fun.
Yeah, that's the Mustang I had. It wasn't fast by any means. Had just a cam in it, but. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. That was sweet.
Yeah. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
Twin snail mail.
And it's like this long.
Yeah, I know. It's a stubby little son of a bitch. Oh, yeah. I want to do that so bad. Now looking at it, I'm even more excited about it because it's even stubbier than I remember it.
To me, that sounds fun, doing the little wheelie thing. But to me, putting maybe something that's not super fast in it, but something that's loud and then just like almost slamming it and put it on airbags would be pretty funny too.
Yeah.
That would be your FTP swag van, dude.
Oh, shit. Swag van. Nice. I do have that 350 with the Mother Thumper cam in it that's sitting up there in the loft just waiting to go into something. I was going to put in the Winnebago, but I don't know what I'm going to do with the Winnebago. I have a love relationship with the Winnebago.
Love, hate, love?
No, just love.
Love.
Just love. I don't know.
It's one of those unique things that no one would touch with a 10-foot pole but you.
And I fell in love. The kids were in it the other day. We sold our old camper and it was parked over by the Winnebago and the kids were in it the other day. And they're like, there's a dead squirrel in there. Harrison was poking it with a stick. It kind of stunk. I don't know if it came in through I don't know how it got in there, but all the windows were open. So
I was going to say,
in there somehow. Yeah.
What's amazing is you don't take care of it. You get it out, 2 days before an event?
Oh, no, 2 weeks. And then we work on it, like a week before the event maybe.
And then you just park that son of a bitch in a field or wherever.
That's why the brakes always go to shit because they need to be pumped, at least once a month or something in order to not have the wheel cylinders rust out and just blow the seals out again. Ugh.
That's what I love is just 100% neglect, and then you just do whatever.
I've never been big on maintenance. That's for damn sure. So, yeah, I don't know. That's always I just love it. I don't know. I've had really bad thoughts of doing a full-fledged restoration on it.
Really?
Yeah. Like throw a 6-liter in it or maybe that 5.7 and just doing a full-fledged restoration. Maybe put some airbags in it so you can cook.
Does that thing have a frame on it?
Yeah, it's on like a Dodge 3/4 ton short box, short wheelbase frame.
Really?
It's all D100, but that doesn't add up because I think 100's half ton and it's definitely bigger.
It's got to be half at least. Yeah.
So but it's called a D100 chassis. So Dodge, Chrysler, whatever. So, it's so cool. So cool.
Well, I mean, it's nostalgic all the way around. I mean, it's a Winnebago.
Yeah, and here's the bad part as I go down this road. It's like where I want to completely restore it inside and kind of make it like cool. Like, maybe do like a bar, like sink on one side, with some like LED lights and just like maybe a couch bed or something in the back and like, hangout kind of cool thing. Put a 6-liter in it and pull one of the cars to the car show. Look how cool that'd be to pull up in the car shows.
So
dragging a car. In
the last 10 minutes of this podcast, you got yourself a swag wagon.
Swag wagon. I like the swag wagon. That's a good name.
And now you got I don't know the name of it, but a podcast den.
Oh, mobile studio. Yeah. Nice. Mobile studio. I like it. And on that right there, I am going to pause this because I have to piss so bad it's coming out of my ass. This Chevelle broken piston is perfect. Look at that.
It is nice.
Yeah, that's the 283 dome top piston with a broken rod, and apparently the skirt has the perfect chunk missing out of it to hold a cigar.
Perfectly.
It's perfectly perfect.
Broken and perfectly perfect. Oh yeah, you got a fan, you can kick that thing on?
Yeah, I got the fan, kick that bitch on low. I bought a fan a couple weeks before I started this, and it was just like a Menards special. It was like $1 an inch. It was like a 60-inch fan. It was like $60. I think it might have been $69.
I get what you're saying now, yeah.
That thing was a piece of shit. It was like
moving around ways.
Yeah, just rocked everywhere. I was like, and then I took it back and got that one.
It's like a mini big ass fan.
Yeah, it was about 4 times as much, but you guys don't hear it right now.
No, it's great. Yeah. I don't even hear it. It's not bad at all. What do you think of that thing?
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
Well, it's a turd that you light and you kind of suck on.
Yeah, I mean, at least the last time when we were doing whiskey, I just...
It depends on if you're gangster enough to inhale these things or not, but...
I always accidentally inhale it at one time.
Usually what I try not to do.
Yeah, no, that shit's spicy. You let that shit get in your lungs, fill you up. That shit's real spicy.
And that's when it lasts. 2 or 3 days later, you still have the reminiscence.
Just there's freaking residue that's deep inside of you. That should be a rapper. The residue deep inside of you. Oh boy.
We're getting off topic, even though we never had a topic.
Yeah, no, we don't topic.
It's probably not a bad thing. All right, so I just bought wheels and tires for my Jeep.
Wheels and tires for your Jeep? I thought it had wheels and tires.
It does. Well, it came from the factory with wheels and tires, yeah. I mean...
You didn't buy it? I got a Jeep.
I guess it wasn't a hovercraft before I got it. But anyway, I've had it for a while, and the tires were to the point where they needed to go...
Bye-bye?
Yeah, they needed new ones. I needed new ones.
Did you get some like dude bro rims, like a huge lip, and they stick out 14 feet on each side? They're like 37 inches wide.
No, I didn't go that extreme. But it definitely, the tire sticks out probably about 3 inches from the fender. So it sticks out quite a ways.
Fucking ricer.
But that was the smallest offset I could get.
They don't probably make them anymore in aftermarket rims.
The bigger offset, they would have stuck out like 4.5 inches. So that would be the dude bro rims that you're talking about.
Did you get a polished lip?
No. They're fake bead lockers is what they are.
Oh, okay. So they're not a big lipped rim.
No.
So you're not going dude bro.
No.
Extreme.
I'm not.
Dude bro extravaganza.
I've never been that type of person anyway.
I'm surprised that you got rims, even aftermarket rims.
All right, so this is my thinking. Tell me if I'm retarded for thinking this way or not. But so the lease comes up on it here this year in September, August. And it needs tires now. I'm not going to pay $2,000 for tires and then turn the damn thing in what, 3 months, 4 months,
Why
5
would
months?
you pay $2,000 for tires?
Because so the original size on there was like, they're like 31 inch, 33 inch. I think they're 33s from the factory. And, so yeah, they're about $1,800 for 5 tires.
Well, you only need 4.
No. Gotta have a spare, bro.
Dude, you already have a spare. Did you wear your spare out?
Yeah, you rotate those sucker in.
You do?
Yeah. Oh
Fuck,
yeah, I get my life out of the spare, dude. It doesn't just sit there and
I don't
crack.
even rotate my tires. My front tires on the truck are about a year and a half now. They're chopping so bad. Like, da, 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 da.
So the only reason I do this is because it's a new vehicle, right? So I bought it. So I take it in. I don't touch it. I have not, besides taking the top off, I haven't ever touched it with a wrench.
Yeah.
Period. So this is me at the age of 40. 42. I'm gonna be 42 this year.
Holy shit, an old ball.
At the age of 42, and I mean, we used to wrench on everything, and I loved working on cars. And I got to the point in my life I don't want to touch anything. Kind of went through a spell like that. So new vehicle, I take it in. They do the oil changes.
Well, nobody wants
They
to work on the
rotate
daily driver.
Tires,
which we all worked on our daily driver / race car.
yeah, exactly. You know,
when we were young and dumb and full of energy.
Well, we had nothing better to do. I mean, there could have been a lot worse things that we could have gotten in trouble for. I know I could have gotten in trouble for anyway.
There's a few things.
You know, so anyway, I didn't want to buy tires and then turn this in. I'm probably going to keep it anyway, but that's not the point. I like having options. So I thought to myself, if I put wheels on it and new tires on it, if I do turn it in, I'll put the old motherfucker tires and turn it in. Then I have these new wheels and tires, and put it on what I get next. Because let's face it, it's going to be another Jeep if I got another car.
Why don't you get a Bronco? Get a new Bronco.
You know,
I got one doesn't look too bad.
No, it looks good. I like it. I got an old Bronco, man. I need a new Bronco.
Let's be honest. Are you ever going to finish that old Bronco?
Hey, I don't.
Hey, I'm going to talk shit until you start working on it.
It's not about.
Sometimes you need a little push, Jeramie. You're being a bitch. It's time to get to work.
God damn it. Okay. I honestly need to get it running so it drives. And I'll wait till that whole body falls off that thing before I touch it. I love driving it, and I love leaving rust spots everywhere on the ground everywhere I go.
To be honest with you, most of the fun about a car is being able to drive it and use it. So like once you go ahead and spend that $40,000 and do the complete restoration on it,
it won't be the same.
Yeah, you get some head turns, but you're afraid to park it in the mall, or you're afraid to take it out to dinner, or
snow.
Yeah, definitely snow. Yeah, and it's just I kind of am to the point too where it's like I don't think the next few cars I build are going to be really nice cars. I think they're going to be cars that are driver cars
that look okay.
That look okay or look like complete dog shit.
Yeah, almost some of them that look like dog shit but drive like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Chuck's got that 57 back there. White paint's checked. It's, blah, blah, blah. Fairly straight body, a little bit of rust in the quarter panel, but I want to take the frame off of it, sandblast it, do all the shit, do all the suspension on it, I debated on rebuilding the 283 and putting that back in there, for nostalgia points, because that's where the 283 came from.
Came from there?
Not that 57, but one of Chuck's 57s, so put it back in one of his 57s.
Yeah.
But probably doing some sort of fuel injection or whatever on it and just making it a really good runner. And good brakes.
Yeah.
Probably air conditioning, nice interior, and just looks like a bucket of shit on the outside.
Yeah.
But fucker, shiny wheels and rims, and whatever tires, everything looks good, or nothing really looks good besides like the interior and the wheels from the outside. Probably lower it 3 inches, maybe air ride, make the fucker sit rocker.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I kind of a fan of the air ride. I don't know why, because I've never ever owned anything air ride, and let's face it, I've never been in the hydraulic world either. That's never been my scene, but it's always cool. I've always thought it was kind of cool. But the air ride now, the way things ride in air ride and the way they look and sit, and you can change it, and it's worth the money, I think.
Yeah, and you can buy really basic kits right now. I just talked to the Whitneys. Apparently they have I think it's a 64 Impala 4-door, maybe it's a Bel Air, Chevy, I don't know, whatever, one of those. Looks like an Impala thing. And original car, he buffed the shit out of the lacquer, kind of shined it up a little bit, it's burned through in a few spots. It's sitting on, out for lack of a better term, like torque thrust 2s. I don't think they were torque thrust 2s, but something similar to that.
Yeah.
And super basic air ride, not all the actuators and this, that, and the other. He's got a fucking compressor and a tank in the back, and he's got the manual thing up front where he can go and adjust all 4 corners or 2 of them together or whatever, and it's super basic. And that fucker looks, when we saw him at a trap meet, is it called trap meet? A trap event.
You're thinking about tomorrow already?
Yeah. And a couple of weeks ago in Ashland, and
which way does this thing screw? I feel like I'm going to unscrew it and fall on my head.
Slam that thing to the ground. He's like,
for days.
And then it was on the ground, and it looked fucking cool. It literally damn near sat rocker on the ground. I think the X frame sits a little lower, but it was fucking cool.
Yeah, dude.
And I dig the ability to change your ride height and your stance. So that fucker just sits mean as fuck in the parking lot.
But then you can go down the highway and not have to worry about none of that nonsense.
Yeah, because you ain't got your hydraulics that are
yeah, dude.
shaking the tits off of you and then
giving you kidney stones.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I mean, getting it running is what I need to do, but I still am kind of a little upset about it. And that's been 6 years probably now. No, longer than that.
Well, you had it running, and then you ran into issues with it.
Yeah, so I put the
302 in it, right?
Yeah, the Fox Body 302 in it. Put in that same transmission that came out of that Fox Body in it too. So I went from because I had a 3-speed C4 in it before. So now it would have a 4-speed with an overdrive or a 3-speed with an overdrive. I can't remember what the fuck the...
Yeah, 3-speed with an overdrive. Is that a C4?
That's what it used to have in it. Now it's like an AOD.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. So I put that in it too. And so I had to take that thing completely apart to put the shaft in it so the transfer case could bolt up to it.
Oh, okay.
Because
so
it's
shaft
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Tail
So
shaft and all that shit.
Yeah. So it could still remain 4-wheel drive or whatever, and that was a 2-wheel drive car, of course. But put all of that in it, and then had it running, had the exhaust built on it, done. Was just testing it, making sure nothing was leaking, everything was running right, everything was going really good. It was awesome, sounded amazing. Shut it off, did a few things, turned it back on, and power completely dead.
Undo those couple things you did.
I didn't touch any of the electrical stuff.
Put the radiator hose back the way it was before. You fucked it up. Whatever you did, you screwed it up.
I know. So I bought a...
because you did a whole wiring harness and kit, didn't you?
Well, I did the wiring harness from basically where the firewall would be down and back. So all the way to the back of it, but I never touched anything under the dash or
yeah.
And so I think what happened, or what might have happened, is So I left the serpentine belts and everything in it, so it's still kind of modern. It's just not fuel injected. So the alternator that's in the Mustang probably putting out a little bit more amps than what the old prehistoric V-belt alternator is putting out. And I don't know if
because that would originally had a voltage regulator and all that stuff, and the new alternator is internally regulated.
I think
should be.
It's been such a long time ago. I honestly don't remember if that one was or wasn't, and I put it.
I thought you put it together.
Yeah, but it ran for, I don't know, I had 30, 40 minutes multiple times.
Yeah.
You know, and then something just, some wires got hot and might have melted a little bit too much. But I don't know if it's right at the ignition, because that's where I found most of that stuff, but it could continue underneath the dash more. I just never...
Well, the good news is you're going to take that dash out and make a carbon fiber one. So
yeah, that's what I was always... Yeah.
First thing is just throw that big steel hunk of shit in the garbage can. And
well, I got to use that as a mold first.
Never mind. Yeah.
But I needed to at least get it out of the Bronco, right? But I did buy a new ignition switch to try that. So if that doesn't work, I need to put a wiring harness in it.
I think I just inhaled.
Maybe a little.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So it needs a wiring harness, most likely.
There's All American, or is it All American?
Something
wiring
like
harness.
That. Yeah, there's some.
They make one. That's a really nice kit. We did that in Chuck's 57 in my Chevelle. Nice kits, and you can take your time, and every wire is labeled, and you can take your time and route it how you want it to, and really make a really nice harness out of it. So it takes a lot of time. Like, it was crazy the difference between my dad's 57 to the Chevelle. Well, granted, I went LS, so I had a ton more electronic stuff in it. But like, I think we knocked his out in like 2 or 3 nights, 4 nights maybe tops. And I think I spent like 2 weeks on the Chevelle just because of all the extra circuits probably. And then like under the dash and doing all that stuff. Just, you know, there's so much more stuff in there. But I have no complaints. Great kit. They're cheaper than painless kits. And they seem to work really well. I know Zach and I think Spike might have ran a painless. I don't remember. But I know there's been a handful of us that have all ran those, and they seem to work out pretty good.
And they'll hold up to the higher voltage, higher amperage, whatever.
Yeah, because it's all newer style fuse block and everything. So you get the spade fuses or whatever on the old barrel ones or whatever the hell they're called. So the little glass ones.
Oh, yeah. So that probably needs to happen. Which, you know, that's really not too bad, right? As far as price wise, it's just I think time.
I'm sure they've gone up. I think it was $600 for the Chevelle or something like that. Which, yeah, it's $600, but I mean, in the scheme of things, it's $600.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably one of your cheaper really purchases nowadays when it comes to things. And then the transmission, it would go into drive. First gear was really strong, but then it was really kind of it didn't feel like it was slipping, but it kind of felt like it was slipping. It was kind of weird. Like, it was really a slow shift. So I don't know if the size of tires, because I didn't change the valve body in it. I didn't mess with the stall or the converter in it. Mm-hmm. So it's still all Mustang type things, and I'm rolling a 35-inch tire.
I wonder, I guess it's a hell of a lot more rotating mass. And it's probably slowing down the transmission, technically speaking, wouldn't it?
I think.
Yeah, because the tires have a larger outside diameter, so it'd be slowing everything down.
Yeah.
So it could be slightly... I have no fucking clue.
I don't either. When it comes to automatic transmissions, I'm pretty much a virgin as a virgin gets. Like, I will tear things apart, and then usually I can put them back together to where they work, and it works. It's just not right.
Yeah, I've never been balls deep in an automatic transmission. I've had plenty of H23 transmissions apart, and I've had the T56 apart. Well, no, once. Because Kevin came over and rebuilt it on the bench that used to be over there the last time, because I think it just needed like fourth gear synchro, and I don't remember what else it was, but just needed a little bit. So we just blew it apart on the bench and made a mess in my garage instead of his garage. And
Yeah. So I knew that was needing to be done. So that was like the next thing on the list, getting that hammered out. And then that thing was good to go, bro. I'd drive the shit out of it again.
yeah, you don't need to get a new Jeep.
But so that made me so pissed because I was so close to driving again. Because it was probably 4 years before since the last time I drove it.
Yeah.
And I used to drive that shit almost every day.
Yeah, I think when I met you, that was your main.
Yeah, I drove the I love that thing.
Yeah.
Still do. So I was a little bit hurt, cried a little bit.
What year did you buy that? When did you buy that?
I was 19, so
Like mid
99.
Whoa, dude, that's crazy. I think I bought my Chevelle in 99 or 2000. I don't remember exactly. And I was over at Zach's the other night, and he had the original pink registration from his
Really?
Nova, and he bought it in March 13th, I think, of 2000. And I bought my Chevelle in the end of March, first part of April. Is either 2000 or 99. I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, damn, dude, we all bought our fucking cars the exact same time, almost within reason, and we all still have them, which is kind of crazy.
What was your dream car?
At that point,
Yeah.
a Chevelle.
Yeah. Bronco's my dream car.
So, yeah, I looked at so many. I looked at fucking probably 7 or 8, 71, 72 Chevelles that were just cat piss green on cat piss green on cat.
There was
piss
a lot
green.
of those.
It was like green vinyl top, green exterior, green interior, and they barely ran or didn't run. And it was like, a couple grand, whatever, $2,500, $1,500 or whatever. And it's like, it's going to be this, that, and the other. It's going to be quarters are rotted, and it's like blah, blah, blah. And then found mine, and it was like red with a black vinyl top with black interior and a 350 in it with a 4-barrel. And it was like, yes, please.
Is that what color it was when you did that big burnout with you in it? You got that picture?
Yeah, my senior picture.
Yeah.
I'll post a picture of that in the video. That's my reminder. Yeah, no, I did my senior picture on in the Chevelle, and I was like, I want to do a big smoky burnout. We were at Pioneers Park, and the dude, no offense against the guy, he was a little on the femme side, so he'd never been around cars or did burnouts, and I'm fucking just. That thing was a brake stand monster. The worst thing I ever did that car was put disc brakes in the front because it wouldn't hold the front. It wouldn't hold the car anymore. And I'm just freaking, and I'm in it for like maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds. And he's like, and I'm like, oh shit, I thought there was a car behind me or a cop or something. So I stop, and he's like, no, don't stop. That's amazing. This is the best thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, okay. There was indentations like that deep in Pioneers Park, from my tires. I don't know if they're still there. I should go look. Maybe I'll do that this weekend if I get a spare moment. But yeah, that thing was a burnout monster.
From what I remember, that picture, that smoke was white, and you could not see through it.
No, it was white and thick, and the wind was just perfect, so that it
was blowing it just backwards,
just enough, so the whole kind of back half behind the wheels was all just completely just covered up with smoke. And yeah, I made my parents pay for senior pictures of me doing a burnout in the Chevelle. Oh, good times! I remember racing Sally and her RX-7 going out because we did cross country or whatever, and she ran cross country, and we were out on normal or whatever going out there. And it's called Rosa Parks now or some bullshit.
Yep.
Change names, gets confusing, and just hauling ass on that straightaway right before the little S curve before Highway 77.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how fast we're going, but we had that fucker pegged from downtown, so we were going as fast as we could, doing $120 or maybe faster. I don't have no idea. And I was like, all right, I lifted because I knew that my brakes turned to glass. Anything over like 110 miles an hour, like as soon as I touched those brakes, it was like, and it was like, oh, okay, I don't have any brakes anymore. That was the shitty thing about four-wheel drum, but they just glaze over right away. But she just fucking hammered in and went flying by me. My buddy Travis is like out the window, and they hit that curve and it goes, and the ass end came out, and I was like, oh, fuck. And it snapped and went straight, and I was like, holy shit, they almost died. They fucking almost died right there. I was like, oh, that would have been a tough one to explain. I just kept driving. I wasn't racing. What is anything here?
It's one of those decisions where that might be the best call.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Don't look back. I think they're fine.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. Like thinking about street racing and doing all that stuff, and like people crash or somebody wrecks, and then you're racing them, and then all of a sudden now you're on the hook for homicide or something like that, or vehicular homicide because you called them out in a race, or they called you out in a race.
They would try to pin all sorts of dumb shit on us back then.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a lot of crazy stuff.
You know, if Lincoln wasn't such a bunch of Nazis, we could have like a actual like track, like a really good track. I feel like my camera quit recording.
I thought it was.
Yeah, I quit recording at some point too.
Well, it has 11 minutes. When did that stop?
I have no idea. We're having all sorts of camera difficulties tonight, but that's fine. We'll cut it out. We'll do post.
I kept looking. I was like, yeah, it's got 11 minutes. We're good. It's still got 11 minutes. Now it's down to 10.
Oh, the SD is almost full. So who knows what the hell's going on. Is that one still working?
It's still flashing. Was yours flashing?
No, it quit, and that's what made me think. I remember it lit up like probably 10 minutes ago.
That's probably when it happened.
That's probably when it quit recording. But I mean, we're probably looking at about an hour and 45. We didn't really talk about anything inappropriate.
Nothing, and we never finished a whole story.
Never got one story done.
Just
so,
rambling.
Long story short, what are you going to do to your Bronco? You got 5 minutes to wrap this up.
Well, I need to wiring harness, do the transmission, tires.
Here we go, going through tires.
And I beat the streets with that thing.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But all the woodworking projects keep getting lined up before that, so I don't even touch it.
Yeah, you got to tell your old lady that this wood's off limits for a little while. No, wait. Shit, that came out wrong.
That came out completely wrong. Don't ever say that.
This wood's on limits, but that wood in the garage is off limits.
It needs to be touched every day.
That came out wrong. Sorry about that.
Well, she don't listen or watch this anyway, so.
Well, you know, Rachel, if you're listening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below.
Mike, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you got anything you want to add? Anything you want to plug? What's your woodworking company, or follow you on Instagrams or anything?
Yeah, we got a web page, rnjexpressions.com. We got a Facebook page, same thing, R&J Expressions. And then Instagram, same thing.
All right, very cool. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap for this one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any comments or things you want us to cover in any future podcasts, let us know. Leave a comment down below. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
Have a good morning.
Or evening. Later.